What if I told you that hundreds of people were drinking water contaminated with a dead body and had no idea for 19 days? What if the last footage of a missing girl showed her hiding from something that wasn't there? This is not fiction. This happened in January 2013 at the Cecil Hotel, Los Angeles. Elisa Lam was 21 years old, a university student from Vancouver, Canada. She loved books, photography, and writing. She had a Tumblr blog where she posted her thoughts, poems, and travel updates. In January 2013, she packed her bags and set off on a solo trip down the west coast of the United States. San Diego, Los Angeles, then Santa Cruz. She called her parents every single day. She was happy, but there was one thing nobody knew. She had stopped taking her medication for bipolar disorder, and that decision would change everything. Now let's talk about the building she walked into. The Cecil Hotel opened in 1927 in downtown Los Angeles as a luxury destination, but over the decades it decayed. Surrounded by Skid Row, the city's most dangerous neighborhood, it became a magnet for tragedy. Serial killers stayed here. Richard Ramirez, the Night Stalker Riutero, was a long-term resident. Jack Unterweger, an Austrian serial killer, was another guest. Multiple suicides happened here. Guests jumped from windows. Bodies were found in rooms. Locals called it the Hotel of Death. And on January 26, 2013, Elisa Lam checked in. 2 days into her stay, Elisa was moved from a shared room to a private one. Her roommates had complained about her odd behavior. She was leaving handwritten notes on their beds that said, "Go home." Go away. She locked the door from inside and demanded a password to enter. Days before she vanished, she attended a live taping of the Conan show in Burbank and was escorted out by security for being disruptive. Back at the hotel, a staff member said she stood in the middle of the lobby and announced, out of nowhere, "I am crazy." January 31st, 2013, the last night anyone sees Elisa Lam alive. Hotel security cameras capture her entering an elevator. What happens next when is one of the most watched and most analyzed pieces of footage in true crime history? She presses every single button on the panel, every floor. The elevator doesn't move. She steps out into the hallway, looks left, looks right, steps back in, looks out again, and as if someone is following her. But the hallway is empty. The elevator doors refuse to close for minutes. Then she steps out and moves her hands in strange, almost fluid gestures, like she's talking to someone invisible, or like she's no longer herself. And then she walks away, down the hallway, into the darkness. The elevator doors finally close. The hallway is empty. That is the last time anyone sees Elisa Lam alive. Elisa never checked out. Her belongings, wallet, ID, laptop, were still in her room. Her parents in Vancouver waited for her daily call. It never came. They flew to Los Angeles immediately. Police searched the hotel. Sniffer dogs were brought in. They searched the roof. Nothing. 19 days passed. Then, guests began complaining. Low water pressure. An unusual taste in the taps. A maintenance worker climbed up to the rooftop to check the water tanks. He scaled a 10-foot ladder, reached the top, opened the hatch, and looked inside. Elisa Lam's body was floating in the water, naked, her clothes drifting nearby. No signs of assault, no trauma, just there. The same water that had been running through every tap. In the hotel for 19 days, the coroner ruled it accidental drowning. Bipolar disorder listed as a contributing factor. But the real question was never how she died. The question was, how did she get there? But here are the facts nobody could explain. 1. The rooftop door was locked with an alarm. The alarm was reportedly working. 2. The only other way up was 3 exterior fire escapes, all restricted. 3. The water tanks required climbing a 10-foot ladder and lifting a heavy metal lid, alone from the inside. 4. Police dogs searched the roof days earlier. They found nothing. 5. Who or what was she hiding from in that elevator? The internet exploded with theories. Paranormal, murder, government experiment, mental episode. In 2021, Netflix made a full documentary about it. Still, no definitive answer. Elisa Lam was found, but the truth was never found with her. Elisa Lam was a real person, a daughter, a student, a girl who loved books and writing and traveling alone. Whatever happened that night at the Cecil Hotel, she deserved better than to become an internet mystery. If you want to know what theory I believe, drop it in the comments. And if this story kept you up at night, you know what to do. Subscribe, because next week we go somewhere even darker. Mom.